Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. And it's a cold day in Wisconsin, let me tell you. 7 below when I woke up this morning. Even at noon it was still minus 2 degrees. I think the weather's supposed to break a little bit tomorrow. It's going to get up to a high of 23. That's a 30-degree swing in temperature, and it's still going to be cold. But I'll take 23 over minus 7 any day of the week. So what do? You know, working from home, which is a definite luxury. I love the fact that I have the option to do that. But like yesterday was a holiday, and boy, I tell you, when you're in these really cold temperatures and you're kind of stuck inside, you start to reminisce about things when you were a kid, or even thinking back to high school days. And one of the items that has a big impression on us is the, TV commercials, right? I grew up in the TV era, watching Speed Racer, watching Andy Griffith, Three Stooges. I was, part of that era, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, all that, as we moved through in the 70s. And one thing that really left an impression on me were TV commercials, especially like TV commercials for cars that were made locally. So I live in Kenosha, born and raised. So we had American Motors literally 3 blocks from my house. The cars would come off of final assembly and into the parking lot. I could look down the street and I can see the cars rolling off the line. So of course, that probably added to my love of vehicles, just thinking about how cars were made. We would see the bodies coming down, the car bodies coming down 52nd Street from the lakefront plant, being delivered to the main plant, and then watching the cars come out on the other end, finished driving cars. I mean, who wouldn't be interested, or at least wondering how all that is done, and becoming a fan of American Motors cars? And I know they had their issues, but so did everybody else. So I try not to focus on that too much. But I put together my 5 favorite TV commercials. And I would say that the first 2, I was probably too young to remember, but I probably saw them on tape or at an AMC club meet, or my godfather was very big into American Motors and Nash vehicles, and I probably remember watching these old TV commercials at his house. But my top 3 are American Motors. The one is for the Matador, the other one's for AMX. The third one I remember very vividly. It was a Pacer with the Sandwich King. So I can't wait to show that one, because being Italian American, I could kind of relate to it slightly. And then I had the 84 Corvette, and which was number 4, 84 Corvette. The new Corvette came out. Well, the new C4 Corvette came out. It was during my senior year in high school. So my senior year in high school was absolutely an amazing time for me. I loved my high school years. So that kind of marks the time. And then my 5th one is about an Eagle SX4. So I really hope that you enjoy these, and we can talk a little bit about them and tell me what you think. But the first one I'm going to show you is I believe a 1970 Ambassador commercial that features Robert De Niro in it, and it's got a little bit of an Italian American spice to it, so I can really relate to it. I don't know if I actually remember this one live. I would have only been 4 or 5 years old, 4 years old. So I doubt it. I'm pretty sure that this one I remember from watching it on videotape at my godfather's house, when he would sit down and force feed me all the American Motors and Nash stuff that he loved so much. So here you go. Let me know what you think.
It doesn't take a lot of money to buy a 1970 Ambassador. It just looks like it does.
Hey, Ma! Pa! Joe's got a new car!
Boy, Joe, that's terrific looking.
Hey, how do you like this big shot? A couple of years out of college and he's buying expensive cars.
Joey, you need such an expensive car.
CPAs make money. Right, Joe?
Hey, Mama, it didn't cost so much. Hey, Richie, get the sneakers off the seat, will you, please?
Ma! Joe got air conditioning!
Joey, so fancy.
Come on, the Ambassador comes that way. Hey, come on, let's go for a ride, huh?
Joey, the way I'm dressed.
You look beautiful.
All right, now wasn't that cool? You know, Robert De Niro is pulling up in looked like an Italian district in probably New York, I would imagine. So it had to be pretty cool. And the next one I'm gonna show you is the AMC AMX. Also has a little bit of an I can hear some Italian words in the background with the racing teams. So let me know what you think of this one.
I'm number 36. In the AMX? The track looks fast today, huh? Wow. Who did your helmet?
Vai il fronte e mantiene la posizione.
You have a spare racing glove.
Non discutere con...
Tiene la posizione. Molto grazie.
Of course, the Italian team is always the one to watch.
Keep your eye on number 36.
American Motors' new two-seater, the AMX, gives you all the fun of sports cars costing thousands more, without the bother of constant maintenance. Just get the 390 engine, roll onto a racetrack, and you're ready to do 125 miles an hour.
Look out! I'm coming through!
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And then now the next one is it's actually funny. Well, it's funny for me. I don't know what you guys think, but the AMC Pacer with the Sandwich King. And let me know what you think of this one. But it always cracks me up.
Mrs. Fitzhorton, it's on the way. Lou, bring everything. Let's go. Quick, Lou. Hurry. Don't forget the provolone.
Fortunately for the Sandwich King, he had a new AMC Pacer. Fortunately, because the Pacer is wider than any other small car. So he had enough room to work on his giant creations. And since the Pacer is wider and also has an isolated suspension system, it gives an incredibly stable ride at a time when he couldn't afford to make any mistakes. The AMC Pacer. No other small car can make this sandwich.
I thought that was pretty ingenious, the first wide small car in the world, but don't forget the provolone. Unbelievable. All right, now the next one is the 84 Corvette, and yeah, it's a little much on the, I don't know what you would call it, like special effects. They were really pretty cheesy, but the car, it was a significant change in technology for the Corvette. I mean, it went from a car that still had roots back to 1962. So in 1984, it was completely revamped. It was closer to what I think was originally envisioned for the Corvette. So the C4, even though it had its issues, and that 84 was definitely underpowered, but it made up for it in handling. This commercial, as cheesy as it was, and we thought it was cheesy in 1984 when it came out, but I own one, and they're really pretty amazing cars. Let me know what you think of this one.
It began as genius and grew to be legend. and has become at long last the most advanced production car on the planet.
You've never seen anything like this before.
A new Chevrolet Corvette like never before.
Never before.
A Corvette superb in its engineering and technology and defiant in its performance.
You've never felt anything like this before.
Feel the performance of the world's first computer-activated manual transmission.
Never before.
A Corvette with never-before available unidirectional turbine fin wheels and tires individually engineered for all four corners.
You've never seen anything like this before.
Liquid crystal displays, 14 separate instrument readouts, English or metric, all updated 16 times every operating second.
You've never heard anything like this before.
An available Delco Bose stereo with 4 never-before speakers, separately engineered for sound that's out of this world.
Never before.
The most advanced production car on the planet is now called Corvette. Chevrolet is taking charge.
All right. That was pretty cool. I think you guys would agree with me, you know, especially the gloves with the space, like asbestos gloves or whatever they were wearing. That was kind of silly. But, you know, I guess for the 80s, that was the way you did it. Now, this last one is an 81 Eagle SX4. Now, this one I really do hold close to me. I remember, so I lived like 4 blocks east of the final assembly where they drove the cars off, and I went to school at Holy Rosary, which was 3 blocks north. So what we would do is we could, you know, I'd leave my house, I'd pick up a couple of my friends walking, you know, as we walked by, you know, the next guy would come out and I'd start out walking by myself, and by the time I got to school, it was like 4 of us. Well, every once in a while we would take a detour, because if we would, instead of walking straight to school, we would detour and go over to the parking lot where the new cars would be coming to get parked. And I remember seeing those Eagles, the SX4 especially, and even the Pacer X's, but I remember those SX4s being in the lot, and they just looked really, really cool. You know, I know at the end of the day, they were a combination of a Concorde and a Hornet and, you know, everything else that American Motors is. But, you have to hand it to them. They took stuff out of the parts bin and they made it look pretty cool. Or at least it looked cool to me. I mean, I was in grade school. I didn't know any better. But, you know, it was hard not to fall in love with those cars. And then the fact that they were 4-wheel drive. And then to see a car that was made in your community on a TV commercial is actually, it was pretty cool. It made me proud to be a part of my community when you'd see your products on the television set at night, you know, between scenes on Happy Days or Laverne and Shirley or whatever we were watching at the time. So I hope you enjoy this one. And you know what? And I owned one for a little while, or I should say my wife owned one for a little while when we first met. And boy, that thing would go through the snow, and you know the way it worked between 2- and 4-wheel drive. It was an amazing little car. Unfortunately, we had to get rid of it. It was just the rust just caught up to it. You know, it was a used car when we bought it, and it wasn't well taken care of. And even though it looked good on the outside, there was, you know, the springs were about to go through the floorboards on the back. So it got pretty bad, but we loved that car, and we were just disappointed when it got to the point where we had to basically give it up for scrap, even though the car looked decent far away. And, you know, we didn't think about what we could do to restore it or save it, because, you know, at the time, we'll just get another one and we'll find one, and we just never got back around to it. Now, if you find one that you can afford, the rust is just bad, or they're going to be really super expensive. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. Take a look at this commercial. Let me know what you think.
You are about to leave the world of ordinary sports cars and make the Eagle switch. The revolutionary two-wheel, four-wheel drive Eagle SX4. The only sport machine that lets you switch from two-wheel drive to full-time four-wheel drive. From high mileage on the road to high adventure off the road. Two-wheeling in style or four-wheeling in the wild. The Eagle SX4. A switch from every sports car in the world. From American Motors.
All right, so that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed that commercial, and I hope you enjoyed all 5 of my, my top 5 favorite commercials. I don't have one that I prefer one over the other, and the order doesn't represent any kind of favorite order. I think maybe the Sandwich King one is kind of cool. Hey, don't forget the provolone. that's actually kind of neat. But they're all really cool, and they all kind of mark a point in time. We grew up in the television era, so those commercials mean a lot, especially the Pacer, the Corvette, and the Eagle SX1. I remember firsthand watching those commercials, and just, with the Corvette one, it's like, oh, I really want to get one of those cars. It was just, one of those things that, when you're a kid, high school kid, just got his driver's license, you want that, or a Trans Am, but the Corvette was always the ultimate, right, for an American car. So, hey guys, take care of each other, stay warm. We're in the middle of winter, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.